Hello to all my great supporters and friends in the beautiful country of Australia. And we've always loved Australia, not just because you sent us all your great movie stars, but also because you're both a country and a continent, which is impressive because, as you know, this is where they invented continental breakfast. Because before this, you just had to pick one. They'd say, "What do you want for breakfast?" And you could only pick one thing. And then Australia became a continental breakfast and a country, and they decided you could pick whatever you want for breakfast. And I always thought that was very nice. And I've always loved the phrase "shrimp on a Barbie" on the Barbie, and which is why whenever I have sex with a blonde woman, that's what we call it. We call it a shrimp on the Barbie. But we're not here to talk about our great culture and our great friendship. We're here because you have an election coming up, very strong election. And there's really only one choice if you're not going to be stupid. And it's Peter Griffin. They tell me his name's Peter Griffin. He's a family guy. He's a good family guy. You may know him from TV, but he's pro-family and has great values. And they're telling me that it's Peter Dutton. Who the hell? Well, okay, it's Peter Dutton, I guess. This guy, we're going to have to learn about him on the fly. They're telling me they call him Timu Trump, which I like that. I like Timu Trump. Sort of like he's trying to be Trump, but he's a cheap knockoff crap version. I can respect that. And they say that oh, this isn't good. He looks like Voldemort, but then he put on glasses to like look less scary. So now he looks like Voldemort stole glasses from Harry Potter. Okay, well that's you know what that's I think that's actually very clever because before he looked like a serpent person who would like eat your children, but then he puts the glasses on, and that's very smart. It's a very smart move because what it says is it's people walk around going, "Oh, at first I thought he was scary, but he looks like he's going to do math problems. Don't worry about Peter Dutton." And the next thing you know, he's kicking people out of the country and he's destroying the environment and not helping migrants and ignoring all the problems and doing stupid things and it's all because he put those soft glasses on. So I think that's a very smart move. I respect that. I respect Timu Trump tremendously. But I think it's important that he's pro coal, very pro coal, which is great. And wants to take away the tax breaks for the electric vehicles, which I love that. I love that. You got to take it because what are we going to do? What are we going to do without coal? Okay, breathe fresh air. Okay, who the hell wants that? Nobody. The answer is nobody. And I know that he is sort of backed by this wonderful mining mogul. We call her Gina Reinhardt. I call her Gina Reinhardtless, which is what you want in a mining mogul. You don't want heart. You don't want somebody who's compassionate. And that's what I love about Peter Dutton is he seems cold as ice. For a guy who wants to burn up a lot of coal, it's very interesting that he's also cold hearted, which is a nice. You want to burn the fossil fuels, but you also want to be icy on the inside, okay, and not care about people. And boy, does this guy. I thought I didn't care about people. That's why I'm such a strong leader with great approval numbers. But Peter Dutton doesn't. I mean, he even sometimes I want to say to him, maybe care a little. How about a little, just a little, so that you got to fool. Yeah, it's called tricking the voters, and you got to make them think that you like them a little bit before you screw them. You're not even doing that. They're just like, I think this guy hates us. I know you have no interest in protecting refugees, and that you've been very nasty to, let's say sexual assault victims, in terms of migrants, and you say they're faking it. And even I wouldn't do. I think that's impressive. Even I would say, well, maybe something happened. But Peter Dutton goes right to they're lying, they're disgusting, mate. Probably throws in a mate after. And boy, is he tough. He is tough. He's as heartless as he is unattractive. And you know what? I have to respect that. If I wasn't so handsome as a president, maybe I'd be even meaner like Peter Dutton. But I do well with women and I look very good, so I don't have to be quite as mean as Peter Dutton. But the funniest thing to me about Peter Dutton, why I relate to him so well, he reminds me of Pete Hegseth in terms of being horrible. He's always sending messages to the wrong people. And he does it's almost like, do you know how to use a smartphone? Maybe you need a dumb phone, Peter. And look at that. Peter Dutton, Peter Hegseth, the Peters. the two Peters. They don't know what the hell they're doing with cell phones. But we love them. We love them because they're cruel to the right people. We like that. He wants more nuclear. He wants more coal. So, if Australia isn't hot enough now, oh boy, is it going to get even hotter. So we love that. Thank you, Peter Dutton. Thank you for that. And I think my favorite thing, and then I'll leave after giving him the strongest endorsement of his life. My favorite thing about Peter Dutton, two things. One is that the only group of migrants he looks out for are white South African farmers, which is exactly the only people I look out for. So you love that. You love that because ever since Mandela, it was frankly, they tell me he was a good guy, but he seemed very radical left. He was a boxer. He was a tall guy. He was, he was, I don't know. They say he was a good guy. I don't know. But ever since him, our great white South African farmers have had it rough. And it's a shame. It's a shame. What did they ever do to do? What the hell did they do so bad in South Africa that white farmers had to be mistreated? Who the hell knows? But Peter Dutton's on the right side of that issue. And I also sort of like, as you know, in our country, I have blacks for Trump. These are the few black men who walk around saying I'm great, and everybody in their family says, what the hell is wrong with you? And Peter Dutton has his own version of blacks for Trump. The native people of Australia are called the abracadabras, abracadigitals, the agigitos. And they are not what you think when you think Australians. We want the Hemsworths and the Russell Crowes. We don't want the abacus people, who are the natives to Australia. And Peter Dutton, as Timu Trump, has done a beautiful thing, very similar to me. Instead of having blacks for Trump, he has a abadigitals for Dutton. And I think the leader of them is somebody like, is it Jacinta Price? Is that how you pronounce her name? And she doesn't care if he's anti-abracadabras. She is for Dutton. And you always want to have at least one self-hating person on your team. And he's found it. So he's done a perfect job being a knockoff Timu Trump. So Australia, as the greatest president in the world, I strongly and fully endorse Peter Dutton to be your next prime president, minister, dictator, whatever the hell you people have over there. Put another shrimp on the Barbie. It's going to get hot with all the coal. Dutton for president, prime minister, whatever you do. Bye-bye.